Hey, what's up guys, it's TJ here, and today I just wanted to really quickly, well it's probably not going to be quick, it's probably going to be a long video. I wanted to do a video, I've been wanting to do this for a little while now, make a video of my editing process. And I just started doing wedding films, and this is actually my second wedding that I have filmed, edited, and delivered to the client, and I still have a lot of work to do. I just wanted to talk about my thought process of editing and getting this video out, and just kind of working with what I had with this film here. I am shooting alone. I'm operating like 3 cameras. I shot with the 70D. Well, I used 2 70Ds, and I used a Osmo, DJI Osmo, and that was my first time using all 3 of those cameras, and this is pretty much what I came up with. If you haven't seen the wedding film, I'll either play that right now or I'll have the link of the wedding film in the description box so you can see the whole thing in its entirety, and hopefully I'll do some more videos like this soon. So let's get right into it. Right now what you see is my final cut, and this is just basically all the projects that I'm working on right now. And in this particular event is the wedding for the Watson family, and the Watson family has a ton of different videos inside of here, and I explain what that is. Basically, these are all different projects that I made from the footage that I gathered from their wedding day, and I just tried to, well, 3 of them, well, 4 of them actually belong to them. And the last one, the posing video promo, is something that I'd like to do, is like take videos for promotion. So like for my wife, she does photography, so I did a little promo video for her showing her how she poses for her clients, so clients can get a better idea of how to, how posing goes when they are with her. But it's always a good idea to keep some of the footage for promo. Anyway, let's get into the wedding film. And that's this one right here, so let's click on that one. And let's talk about how I decided to start this video off. Basically, I wanted to come in from a black screen and go into my logo. I'm still trying to figure out how I want like a signature intro to be. And I think this is it. Just a regular black screen with the logo popping in and the music coming in as well before the film starts, and then fading from black into some type of footage. This particular footage happened to be drone footage, and I think it worked out pretty well. And also my titles, I've been liking the titles being offset to the right or the left recently, so that's something that I like to do, and I think I probably will continue that in the future. But I do wish the text was a little bit smaller. It kind of takes up a little bit too much of the screen. You want to be mindful of people who may not be able to read small text, but you don't want your text to take up too much of the screen as well. So basically, this film, I found this song, and I'll talk about the song a little bit later, but I found this song and I felt like it went very well, because it seemed like a very loopy song, and it seemed like a very, it raised anticipation. So what I wanted to do was, for this first part of the film, was I wanted to raise anticipation of what was going to happen throughout the day. Kind of have a build up, have some sort of a storyline. So what I'm doing in this first section of the film is building up to the actual wedding ceremony itself. So this whole first section with this song, which is probably about, I want to say it's about a minute long. How long is that? It's about a minute and 56 seconds, almost 2 minutes long. So it's a very short song. It's actually it's shorter than that. It's actually about a minute and 48 seconds. So I love that song, and I wanted to, and it wasn't long enough. It wasn't long enough to tell a story with, so I wanted to use that song to help me build up some anticipation for this film. So what I did was I started with some drone shots. And these drone shots, I got them right before we actually arrived there and we got some footage. And then I had some free time to get this drone shot. And I decided to play the voiceover of the brother. This is actually the brother in this wedding. He's the bride's brother, and he said something just really personal. And I was struggling to find some voices to kind of carry the story along, so I had to use what I had. They actually did not do any exchanges of vows, like personal vows. They just kind of stuck to the script, so there wasn't anything personal. So I used some of the voiceovers from the people who actually toasted. So I just thought what he said was really nice. So I went from drone shot to drone shot, and also shot the front of the building, it was a decent shot, but I wanted to get some establishing shots so people can know where we are. And then I punched into the brother who was talking, so you can know where his voice is coming from. It's not some voice out of nowhere. So I punched into him so you can see who was talking, who was speaking, and then back to some establishing shots where we get the entrance to the venue, and then we get some detail shots. And I love that detail shot of the flowers. I thought the colors were very beautiful. And that's not a slider, that's actually a monopod. I just kind of panned back. And then to some panning shots of the people who are in there actually getting ready. And this is just a small detail shot of the boxes that she gave her bridesmaids, which I thought was very beautiful. Another detail shot of the shoes. Now we punch into the groom himself. You can see I put a lot of layers on here. And you really didn't have to do that, but I ended up doing it anyway. At the top here is actually a letterbox. So this letterbox is like a custom letterbox that I put over. So what I do here is I also come in with the officiant. The officiant is actually the father of the bride, so he had a lot to say, and he explained that they were friends and started dating since they were in high school. So I thought that was a pretty good part to put into the film. I thought it would be interesting and something very personal that would move the story along and add some type of personality to the film. So like I said, I'm just doing detail shots here. Groom, more of the invitations and rings. We go to the dresses, kind of foreshadowing here. Mrs. Watson, I thought that was a cool shot. And this shot right here is actually a shot that Tiffany, my wife, and I decided to grab. We wanted to hang the dress up somewhere. We actually hung it up in the room, and then we said, well, that was okay. Let's try to get a better shot. We had some time, so we went ahead and did that, and I think it came out pretty good. And basically with that shot, I'm actually on a what was I doing there? I don't know if I was on a slider. I think I was just on a tripod. I just panned, got really low. Raise the angle up to kind of catch that dress in there, and then just kind of pan to the right. I did a couple of different shots, and I just picked what I liked from what I had, and I thought that one looked pretty good, looked pretty cool. Let me go into just preparation stuff, shots of where the ceremony will be at. An empty room, and I thought that was pretty cool to have the empty room. And here comes my favorite shot right here of the groomsmen. Man, I just love that shot. Just for some reason, just them walking into that room, and I actually caught that they were actually going to the room for a particular reason. I believe whoever was running the venue wanted to show them how they would enter the room and everything. So I just went along with them, and I caught them doing what they were actually doing. They were just like in all of the room and just walking in, and I caught them. I was just right behind them. Thought that was pretty cool. Some more detail shots. And then we kind of add some dialogue of what was going on. There was a lot of music playing, like they played a lot of music in their room, and there was very few dialogue that I could get from the women, but I was able to sneak some in, and it's actually the sound that I took is just what was in the background at the time, and I think it just worked. It just makes you feel like you're in that environment with them. It makes you feel like you were there while, you know, things are going on. So I think it like adds a little bit to the film versus it just being silent at that point. So that was the bride herself. Actually, this is actually the first. Okay, this is the second time I show her face. And I was kind of particular about how I showed her, but here's a detail shot of the lace, and then another shot of the dresses. Kind of like that shot, but it could have been better. And then we have another detail shot of the rings and stuff. And that was the end of the first portion of this film. Like, because that song is very fast, and it's almost like, you know, it's loopy, and it has this like this build up of emotion, I feel like, and that kind of pushes the story along in the beginning. And at this point, it's kind of like a transition period between the two songs. What I decided to do is come back out and show where we are again, just so you don't forget. And then I put another title here, and this title. So I use a long drone shot to put these titles on. So this title actually tells you the location of where we are, and it also tells you the date. And then I go into some more dialogue, and this is kind of giving you a little background of the groom's side and his preparation. So this transition is going into, hey, now the groom is getting ready, and this is what he was doing to get ready. This is what they were saying. This is the toast that they made, and also, so the next few shots are pretty much all the groom. So let's go in. And what I was doing here was just.
Congratulations.
Which is what I like to do. I like to have the sound come in, the voiceover come in, and pretty much have something overlaying it. So you don't really know where the voice is coming from. But as soon as you're in that space where they are, you understand what's all going on. So he's giving a toast, and I thought that was a great little toast. So I'm getting shots of the groom, the groomsmen getting ready, people helping him out. Some of this is staged, but you know, it really helps to move the story along. You know, I had to have him put his shirt on again, or just have someone help him out, and it really adds to it. I mean, you would like to get this stuff like realistic, but I think I mean, if I didn't tell you, you probably wouldn't know. But yeah, so got him fixing his cufflinks, got somebody putting on his jacket, and now we have the officiant's voice come back in. And what I was doing here is, as he's getting ready, as he's getting prepped for the wedding, I have the officiant's voice come in, and basically these are the vows that they're saying to each other. So it's almost like he is saying his vows and getting ready at the same time. And I thought it worked pretty well. I mean, almost like he's getting ready for this moment to say what he's going to say. And I have this shot of him coming up here, which is him walking, just asking to walk. And this is actually after the wedding. This is actually after the ceremony. So I had him do he was outside and they just finished taking pictures, and I decided to get him to walk. And this is something I had in my mind earlier. I just didn't get the time to do it beforehand. So you just got to do it when you have the chance to do it. But I thought this worked because it almost looked like he was contemplating what was going on during the wedding and everything. And yeah, I think that worked out. So another establishing shot of pretty much where he was when he was walking. And then back to details. Now we're going to go and see the bride side of everything. So now we have the officiant talking to her, asking her to say her vows. And now we see the bride actually getting ready. And those shots of people helping her get dressed, and her sister, that's actually her sister, helping her button up her dress and talking to her. And then I add a little bit of dialogue from the bride's room to kind of push that along and make you feel like you were actually there. I think that I really just think those voiceovers help with that. She's getting her makeup done and just shots like that. So now we're transitioning over to the actual ceremony itself. And I wanted to get the guys walking there. I wanted to get them talking about things. And so now we add some more dialogue to push that along. And I kind of got that shot of the ceremony. I got that beforehand. Got that before we actually get there. And I did that because, I don't know, it just seemed right to have it there and then show the groomsmen actually on their way to where all of the people were waiting for them at. So yeah, I wasn't in both places at the same time, but it kind of feels like that. This is dialogue of them right before they actually went out, so I think that works. Like just having the groomsmen talking and then having shots of the groomsmen itself is just a good guideline to go on. Just put some B-roll of the groomsmen and then have some dialogue of the groomsmen and just try that out and see how that works out. And I think it works pretty well. So now the wedding starts. The bride comes in and I'm shooting, and this killed me right here. I thought it was a perfect place to have the camera, but I didn't think about everyone standing up when the bride came in. So they jumped right in front of my shot. But I did get his face and his reaction right when he saw her. And then also his best man right behind him putting his hands on his face is pretty good too. And then this shot, I like the shot, but I don't like how it looks. This is using the DJI Osmo, and my settings were not right. So I had to really recover this footage here, so it looks very grainy. But I definitely dropped the ball on that shot there. But I mean, I think it looks good though. I mean, given that we all make mistakes. But then I'm just getting shots of them together and all that. And then, it progresses and moves along very quickly. And we ended on a nice shot of them together. And this last portion of the video was just It was really out of desperation because I didn't really know how to end this. But we have this very loopy ending to this second instrumental that we have here. And basically I thought it was great to put all of the rotating shots that I did with the DJI Osmo kind of in series together. And I felt like it wrapped it up pretty well. So basically we have these different shots with the Osmo going around. And I think it really worked, especially with the song. And then the last shot of them kissing, and last shot of them kissing as well. And then we fade to black, and there is the logo again. So that was my second wedding. I had a first wedding. I'll put all the links to my videos in the description box below. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I know this was a long video, but I appreciate you guys for sticking with me if you are here for this long. If you like this type of video, let me know in the comments below. And also give it a thumbs up so I know to make more videos like this. And maybe I'll talk about other films and videos that I've made in the past or will make in the future. So, if you are aspiring to be a wedding filmmaker, don't hesitate to do it. I was freaking scared out of my mind to start doing it, and I decided to do it. And I think I have my confidence, and I think I know what I did wrong and what I need to do to fix those errors. So, I have a lot to work on, but I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.